Punjab National Bank and absolute disaster on the NPA front. Though mind you, there has been a bit of a recovery, but still stays in double digits. But loss figure of 490 crore rupees is where the company has come in on its bottom line for the third quarter. This versus a profit after tax in the corresponding quarter. Now, like I said, the NPA continues to stay in double digits, but it's eased off a little bit from the previous quarter. So from 16.76%, it's now come in at about 16.3%. On the absolute gross NPA fund as well, gross NPA number as well, it's at 76,809 crore rupees. But I suppose this coming off from those highs is nothing to celebrate about as such, because the numbers still are pretty perturbing. And there's also that loss figure on the bottom line, despite the fact that the provisions have come off. I have the provision figure, which is at 4,445 crore rupees versus 3,253 crore rupees. This is, of course, the provision for non-performing assets. So, yeah, that's the correct number, 4,445 crore rupees. A sharp rise versus the previous quarter, and I suppose that could be a reason why you have, the bottom line churning out a loss versus a profit after tax, not only in the corresponding quarter, but in the previous quarter as well.
First of all, I don't consider this as a weakness. The reason being, there was a provision requirement as declared by the RBI's report, divergence, which amounted to 2,100 crores. Besides, we have also undertaken a harmonization exercise ahead of the amalgamation with both the banks while doing the due diligence of the activity. So in the harmonization, as per the RBI guidelines, an account which is available, that means a borrower account across all the three banks, we need to harmonize the provisioning. We have identified those accounts, and we found that there is a requirement of roughly around 3,000 crores provision requirement. Out of that, the aging provision has already taken care to the extent of almost 1,000 crores. Another 800 crores we have done the provisioning this time. And RBI divergence, completely we have done the provisioning, that is around 2,100 crores. That is the reason why you will observe that 4,445 crores provision alone in this quarter has been done. If you compare with the earlier quarter, it was around 3,500 crores. So there is a straight away an increase of 900 crores provisioning, which has resulted into a net loss. However, this has given a strength to the balance sheet in reducing the gross NPA percentage to 16.3 and also net NPA percentage.
I will talk about the gross NPA percentage, but where are you seeing the pain points really? You were talking about the agriculture and MSME sector that continues to be in a lot of pain. What are the issues with respect to these sectors, and when can we see things really getting back?
We will look at one by one. One is now, if you look at the large corporate sector, the pain of identification is almost complete. However, there is still requirement of undertaking the provision on aging basis. There are accounts which have been identified by the bank under a fraud, where provision is required to be done up to the 100%, but there is a dispensation available from the Reserve Bank of India, and accordingly we are doing that. So the provision requirement in the existing corporate advances will continue for 2 more quarters. Similarly, if you come to RAM segment, retail, agriculture and MSME, the strain or pain points are still there in agriculture and MSME. Agriculture, for whatever different reasons, the recoveries are not forthcoming. As a result, we have to identify those accounts where recovery is not coming into NPA. Now, we have seen in this quarter itself around 6,700 crores has been the slippage, against which 31%, that means 2,100 crores roughly, came from agriculture.
So is all provisioning done, or will we see some more pain in the coming quarters as well?
Roughly, if you look at 3,000 crores is the slippage we are looking in RAM category in every quarter. In the last 2 quarters, we have seen that. This will continue for 2 more quarters, wherein the exercise will be completed with respect to identifying whatever inherently the accounts are there where recovery is not forthcoming in terms of agriculture and MSME. And we don't see anything other than that. In terms of large corporate, as I have indicated, it is not the identification, it is a matter of providing the provision. So we see that March and June will also be a little, you can say, balance sheet will be controlled balance sheet. We are confident that since we have taken larger provisions now itself, our March should be better. If you look at the operating profit, which has shown a growth of 21%, net interest income is very, you can say comfortably placed at 4,100.